Hello,
What's up?
Mr. Keaton. How are you doing?
I'm great.
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
You can only bring 3 things and you're on a deserted island. What are they going to be?
Well, like, what kind of island is it? Is there like trees and stuff, or
He said, I need context here.
yeah, are there like animals running around?
Like a deserted island, man. Like, just think about like Pirates of the Caribbean island. Like that kind of deserted island.
Okay, so trees and animals running around.
Yeah.
Probably some kind of weapon.
Okay. What kind of weapon, though?
Probably a gun.
A gun? What happens when you're out of bullets?
I was gonna say bullets.
That would be your second thing is bullets? So you bring a gun and bullets.
Yeah, because
That's 2 things down.
Brian, think about this. Like, if you get,
But you got to survive.
I know you can do a lot with a gun. Think about that.
No.
Yeah,
No, you can't. Really can't. You could just shoot things. I almost said people.
that's crazy.
Don't shoot people.
I don't know what the third one would be. Obviously, like water.
Okay.
Water, and a gun, and some ammo.
Water and a gun and some ammo.
Because
Okay.
I don't know. Kind of like the saying, you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life. So,
Yeah, I feel that. I
Yeah.
feel that.
and especially us being from Southeast, you know what the fishing's like down there.
I sure do.
Yeah.
I sure do. I miss it. I don't like fishing here because I'm from Southeast.
Well, you gotta drive like 3 hours just for like mediocre fishing.
My Voice provides those with lived experience in homelessness, addiction, mental and behavioral health struggles, and domestic violence with a platform to tell their story in their words. Every episode is conducted anonymously in order to facilitate a candid and comfortable place for guests to tell their story. My Voice is hosted by Bryan Fields, who works as a case manager here at the My House Youth Drop-In Center in Wasilla, Alaska. We now join a My Voice conversation, already in progress.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah. I figured I'd owe it to you because you've done so much for me.
You don't owe me anything. You know that. But we really appreciate you being here and being willing to share your story. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of rehear it,
Yeah.
you know, and go through it. So, Mr. Keaton, where are you from?
I'm from Juneau,
Juneau,
born and raised, and then
the
I moved
capital.
up. Yeah. Then I moved up here.
Hold on, we're gonna slowly walk it out. Okay. How long did you live in Juneau for?
Altogether, probably like 17 years.
Okay.
I did move and then go back.
Yeah.
So
What was your childhood like in Juneau? What is a Juneau kid doing?
on the beach with a fishing pole in your hand, or on a boat,
On the beach with a fishing pole.
or those southeast towns being that small, you can bike anywhere.
Yeah.
If you want to go downtown from the valley, it's like an hour, but
Mhm.
it's super easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of biking in the summertime. Being I want to say the only town in Southeast with a ski resort. I don't think Ketchikan. I know
No.
Ketchikan didn't have one.
For sure it doesn't have one.
Sitka doesn't have one either. Wrangell doesn't.
It's wild that Juneau would even have one.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
A lot of snowboarding and going, snowmobiling
Mhm.
with my dad.
Nice.
Let my dad let me skip school to go do that kind of stuff.
Oh no. Oh man.
We don't tell anyone that though.
Yeah,
The
well, we
world
just
knows
told
now.
everyone, but
So, yeah, a lot of that. Just working with him.
what was home life like?
Very interesting.
Okay.
Because for a while there, when my parents were still together, it was very very relaxing. And then as stuff started going on, started getting very chaotic. It get to the point where, I just would get sick and tired of it. So I'd ride my bike down to the dock and fish for.
How old were you when that?
I was like 13 or 14.
Okay.
I'd, bike down to the dock and just fish for 12 to 14 hours a day because I didn't want to be home.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And then I got really big into playing the drums around when I was like 12. So I really did a lot of that. And that's kind of how I got my anger out. Just beating the crap out of my drums.
That's a good healthy way to express anger, though. I'm not mad at that. No. Okay. So what, like, seems like it was pretty relaxing. At what age did that like change when home life wasn't quite as relaxing?
About 2 months before I came up here to go to North Star. Around that time, that's when stuff started getting really bad. My dad was staying at his friend's house, and I'd be over there with him or at my mom's house.
Okay, so things got chaotic and things escalated for you pretty quickly, it sounds like.
Yeah. My parents were like, we're worried about you. You're like shutting down and stuff. And I'm like, well, all this stuff is going on, and I've tried to talk to you guys about it, but nobody's really listening.
That's frustrating.
So
feel heard.
My therapist at the time was like, he needs to go to treatment. So I went to North Star. I was there for, I want to say 8 months in the Palmer place up on Clark Wolverine. After I got out of there, I definitely learned a lot about myself. And, everybody kind of makes that stuff sound terrible, make it out to be a terrible place to be. It's really not. I had a blast. I learned a lot of stuff, and that place in particular being an outdoor based facility where they take you out and like camp and stuff like that. Cool. We went hiking and explored a lot of different places, and drove to Fairbanks a few times and camped up there, or like in Keaton or Denali State Park.
Oh, that's cool.
I got out of there. Worked with my dad.
How old were you at this point? You were
like 15.
15?
Yeah, okay. I got out. My dad told me when I got out, he's like, I'll go buy you whatever drum set you want because, you kind of kicked butt getting through there.
Were you having, like, before you went, were you having problems in school? Was there, like, a lot of stuff leading up to going, or?
Family stuff.
Just family stuff, just that stuff at home?
Yeah, divorce reactions and stuff like that. So I got out and worked with him, my dad, and talked to a therapist, and played the drums, and I actually joined a band, and that was probably the best I'd felt in a long time because, not only like was I able to play, but when we were writing music and stuff, I could really show emotions through that.
Yeah. When you got out, how did you feel about like returning home?
I felt like somebody from a different country coming to the U.S. That's how I felt because didn't have a phone. I could only make one phone call a day. Most of the time it was to my dad or my cousin because we'd go out on passes and they'd come and get us. So my dad would come up there once a month for 2 to 3 days, and I'd, get to go hang out with him.
What about mom?
She kind of, during that whole time, kind of just like wasn't really involved. We were kind of having a rocky patch during all of that. She came up there once up here because we were all down in Juneau.
Yeah.
Because the state had it set up to where if you were in there, they'd pay for a plane ticket every 3 months, every quarter, technically, for you to come up for somebody to come up and see you. They'd give you a place to stay and a rental car and stuff like that. So she did that. It's crazy because she did that, and then the next week my dad came up.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, I was just curious because it throughout your story, I hear you talk about your dad a lot, but I don't hear you talk about your mom very much.
Yeah. She comes into the later part.
So you felt like you came back. You felt like you were.
It was weird. I had a phone,
like a foreign person coming back.
I had a phone in my hand, and I forgot what fast food was, and I like forgot that, to like, kind of how to socialize with people, because like you see the same people every day there, and when a new person comes in, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
you're like, what if this person doesn't like me?
Right.
What if I made a weird,
yeah,
remark or something, or
yeah.
No, but that whole thing was definitely a learning curve. They teach you how to cope with frustrations.
Yeah. I think they teach you a lot of stuff in there, and other facilities do too. But I think as a whole, providers need to look at like that reintegration process, and like, Michelle talks about exit strategies all the time. And what does that look like? What does your landscape look like once you're done with here? You know what I mean? And I think that there's not enough put in that, because it can't be like it's a shock.
Yeah. Well, it's like you can go to those places for, I've heard people being there for 2 years, but, and then you can, you can just get out and go back to, what made you go there in the first place.
Yeah.
And that kind of ruins the whole process of, what you were working on those 2 years. Cause all that process can deteriorate, so fast.
Yeah.
It's crazy to watch because, there was somebody that got out and I watched him come back in 2 months later for the same thing. He's like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay. So you got back. What did you start going back to school?
Yeah. I have this weird thing where I'm just a social butterfly, but granted I knew everybody. So everyone's like, we all thought you died. And I was like, no. I went up to Anchorage, like, new school year. I was in high school instead of middle school that time. So it's a little different. And of course, the one good friend of mine that stayed by my side in middle school and everything was happening stayed by my side in high school.
Nice.
And his family actually started a band, and we all did the Battle of the Band Sings in high school, and
heck yeah,
played at events around town. Just had fun with that.
Nice. I heard you're pretty good at the drums, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure Isaac told you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw it on Facebook. I've never even played that song in person.
Yeah.
Ever. They just like said, hey, you want to come up? And they're like, I was like, yeah, sure. And then it's funny because the guy texted me. He's like, dude, you did so good. You want to come back and play that song and another one? I was like, dude, yeah. I went back there with a bunch of my friends, and they all watched me play, and I have never been tagged in so many posts in one night. It was insane. I think I had like 30 different people tag me in that.
Yeah.
And to be able to, see Isaac there was cool because like I'm sure I've told you in the past, but nobody's really seen it because I kind of quit playing after I left Juneau.
Yeah.
So to be able to go do that every once in a while is fun.
Yeah. But so high school, you're back in high school.
Best friend still by my side.
Yeah.
It was pretty easy from there on out. Like that whole year was super easy going. Still sucked at math. Nothing changed there. But towards the end, me and my dad started having downfalls and getting into a lot more arguments, and I wasn't staying at home as much and was out doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. And then me and my dad came up to Anchorage, and this is where my mom starts coming. And I went and hung out with her for a day. I told her what was going on because my dad was talking about sending me down to Utah to go to treatment down there because they have a really good program based out of Bountiful, which is 30 minutes north of like Salt Lake general area.
Yeah.
So
what were your thoughts of that when?
Oh, it was scary because I've been in Alaska my whole life.
Right. But what about the treatment part?
I didn't think I needed it. Like, you know, I've always tried to stay super calm with everything, even when stuff does get escalated, especially after going to Summit. So, my mom was like, well, I'm your mother. I get a say in that. So as soon as I got back to, Juneau, because we were up here, my mom was living up here at the time. I packed up all my stuff at my dad's house. I went and stayed at my stepdad's house. I packed up my drum set and everything, and I moved up here to try to get away from that because she agreed too that, not being very present for that year that I was out.
Yeah.
But she saw a lot of progress. And then I got, after 2 months of just, me and my grandma were always staying at different Airbnbs because my dad said a bunch of stuff to OCS and they got involved and they're like, well, we don't want you at the house.
With mom?
With mom. So me and my grandma would go stay at an Airbnb for a couple of days at a time. And then while everybody was gone, I'd go there and play my drums.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's interesting to look at, with young kids when they are having, behavioral issues. A lot of people, and not saying that it's wrong, but a lot of people jump to treatment.
Yeah.
And I think if we did a better job as a community supporting youth, as well as, parents being willing to have those hard conversations that are a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah. Because I think the goal should be to keep you home, right? And that's where you're going to make the most progress, in my opinion, because you're going to feel the most comfortable. You're going to feel the more safe.
You're at home.
Yeah. And sometimes the treatment aspect of when you're young can be good. And I'm not trying to knock anybody that sends their kids to treatment or anything like that. But I would say going back the second time, it's we kind of been through this.
Know how the system works.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe let's try some interventions as a family and try to figure this out type of deal. So I think it's really cool that you were able to advocate for yourself and say I don't really know about that. You know what I mean? It sounds like
it was needed.
Yeah. It sounds like it didn't turn out quite the way you wanted it to though, but
I will say this though, but you can always advance from stuff. And going down there again, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Met a lot of cool people. It's crazy because I told myself, I'm never going to go back to Utah after that. And here I am.
Oh, you ended up going?
Yeah, I ended up going.
Okay. So it's not okay. So let's get back into it. So, how old are you? You left school, left Juneau, left everything.
Yeah.
Came up here. OCS said no.
They said that I had to go.
OCS said you had to go.
Yeah. So,
so what were the behaviors that were triggering this?
My dad's girlfriend at the time didn't really like me, so she was sabotaging my relationship with my dad by saying I said stuff to her or about her, and just ruining. Because before her, me and my dad did everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happened with her, and I was, I tried to explain to him, you're seeing it from only one point of view. open your mind a little, please.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. And so yeah, I came up here and, you know, was hoping to hunker down and hide somewhere till they just forgot about it, but they didn't. And, you know, the one person that stayed by my side through the whole moving, or, you know, my grandma, us going to different Airbnbs every couple of days.
Yeah, that's gotta be hard too.
She, you know, when they told me that I had to go down there, or my mom was gonna lose custody of my sisters.
That's a heavy. How old were you?
I was 16.
That's a big weight to put on a 16-year-old.
So I told my mom, I was like, I'll go through it. I'll be fine.
Where did how long were you in Utah for?
I want to say 6.5, 7 months. Same as the other. Pretty close.
Okay.
But so we opened, or I started talking with my therapist. She was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because she always has wanted to go to Alaska. And what are the odds? She gets stuck with me.
Yeah.
And then my therapist is like, okay, you passed. Like, why are you here? Like, and I, you know, told him countless times, everybody didn't believe me that stuff didn't happen. You know, she was accusing me of a bunch of stuff. And I even got to the point where my really good friend down in Juneau, like I had his parents vouched for me. Like, we don't see him being that person. And, you know, they're like, we allow him in our house. If that was the true case, we wouldn't let that, you know, be the case. Like allowing him to come over and stay the night for a couple of days and go do stuff with us.
Is she just saying you were being violent with her or what?
Yeah, not with just her. She said I was making like threats and stuff like that.
That really sucks, you know. And I think I'm glad that you were able to find the truth in all of that, but I always feel for that and kids that have to go through stuff like that because you know, when people start to at that age like keep feeding this into you that you're this person, when you're not, it can be really damaging to your self-esteem.
Oh yeah, and then you can start believing it.
Yeah.
You know, I went through, I actually got a perfect score every day I was there. I never messed up. I never got any disciplinary actions or anything like that. I kept to myself. That's one thing I encourage to people is when you're there for you. You're not there to make friends. I mean, if you are, that's weird.
Yeah. I mean, just be mindful though, right? Like,
yeah. Like if you see somebody struggling, help them out.
Whether you're there to make friends or not, you know, like, you're right. You are there for you, but I think some of like the closest bonds you can create with people are in
those kinds of perspectives. Like I still, you know, I made friends when I was there, but I didn't like intend to, but I still talk to them this day. Yeah. And some of them live down there.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, you know, after I think it's 18, you can reach out to like staff members and stuff down there. It's a HIPAA thing. It's weird how it works. But this weekend I'm going to get lunch with one of the staff members.
Oh, that's cool, man.
I mean, not seen him for 5 years. I'm totally different. I have facial hair now. I'm a little taller.
He said, I have a beard now. Yeah. Okay, so like, were you ever like, did like that whole situation with your dad and your dad's girlfriend, how did that like impact your relationship with your dad?
That's a weird one. I've never been asked that question before. It did for a while. It did impact it. Like the whole time I was going through there, I was really, you know, my mom saw what I was going through because I was actually putting an effort to talk to her and, you know, keep the relationship that we have still going. And I just, at that time when I was living with my dad, I never really thought to, you know, because my mom was always super busy and I really thought to reach out to her. And the whole time I was there, I was talking to her, saying, yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened. The few times I called my dad when I was down there, I was either in tears or I wanted to just go to a rage room and destroy everything.
Yeah, I get triggered pretty easily.
Yeah. Luckily, I learned to control that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or manage that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manage it in a very proper way.
Right.
It was still kind of weird when I got out to, come up. I'd go get dinner with him. Not really talk to him, but, I'd shake his hand or give him a hug if I felt like it.
Did you guys ever talk about it?
After a while, yes. A big thing, and it's weird because one thing I did learn is I learned a lot about my dad that I didn't really know when we talked about it. And it's weird because we really didn't talk about it until I went down there to go fishing with my buddy a couple years later. So
and again, like those are those opportunities, like we gotta, as parents, and I know you're not a parent right now, but I just think we gotta be willing to have those hard conversations, because I'm sure that, that definitely not having that conversation didn't improve the relationship, right?
Yeah, no.
And
I barely talked to him for those 3 or 4 years. First time I went fishing, I was 18.
Yeah.
Fresh 18.
Yeah.
Right when COVID started.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we think that if we have these hard conversations that, you're gonna react a certain way, or it's gonna be bad, or it's gonna be this, or it's gonna be that, But the reality is that it's gonna be much worse if I don't have the conversation, for one. And lots of times our kids, like, they want to have those conversations. They want to be reconnected with you, and I also want to teach you that, like, hey, like, we can mess up and we can fix and we can move forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's unfortunate to me that it took so long. I'm glad that it ended up happening. But
and now we're to the point, because it happened. We had our talk, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. But so let's backtrack a little bit. So you got out, you went through the program.
I flew back up here.
To Anchorage to live with mom?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Live in Palmer.
Okay, Palmer.
Or by the fairgrounds. So
were you living with mom or your grandma?
My mom.
Okay.
Because all that stuff got deferred.
Okay.
After they saw those results and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you get back in school?
I finished school. I got a job. I worked at McDonald's for like a year. Hated it every day.
Yeah.
I got really bad at, like I said earlier, about, people falling back into their own, the reasons that they go back to treatment.
Yeah.
I started getting really, really depressed and letting stuff just hit me like a brick. I had a girlfriend at the time too, and she was pretty blind to that stuff. Like, I'd be upset and I'd say, "Oh, it's nothing," when it's just, my thoughts getting to me.
Yeah.
And then one night I came home and I was like, "Okay, that's it. Like, I'm gonna attempt." And I stopped myself.
How old were you at this point?
19. 19. Yeah, I stopped myself. I went in and talked to my mom, and we drove into Anchorage to go to the hospital. I was there for a few days, and then they were asking me a bunch of different questions and, like, what was going on. And at that time, I just told him, I was like, yeah, I don't really know how to, I kind of forgot how to express to people like what I'm feeling. And I was just letting stuff ball up, and there's a lot of commotion going on at the house because I had 3 siblings there, and it's kind of hard to talk to my mom because she was going through nursing school and she was super focused on that. And I never really got along with my stepdad. Like we could talk civil, but we'd always bump heads. So I went there, and they released me or they transferred me out here to Matsu Regional for a couple of days. And I met some cool people through there, and we also, just talked about stuff, and they tried to, adjust my medication for behavioral stuff. My mom's like, I don't really want him coming back to the house. I don't want my other kids to be influenced by that and think that that's okay.
That's gotta be hurtful.
Yeah, that hurt a lot. And then my therapist there brought up my house. So I thought about it. I really tried to fight with my mom. I was like, I want to come back home. Like, I don't want to be away from you guys. I want to see my siblings grow up and mature. She's like, I can't have that. You can see it from a distance, or like come over and hang out. I actually got out. I was there for like 4 days. And I've never been so burned out of hospital food.
Yeah.
It's like Cheerios, not even Honey Nut Cheerios, just like bland Cheerios, or like Raisin Bran and cornflakes for breakfast, or a peanut butter and jelly.
Hey man, at least it's food. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. I get how that could be.
I'd say this. I like Raisin Bran now because of the hospital experience. I don't mind it. Plus, it's always on the clearance aisle. So,
okay. So, mom said you couldn't come back.
Yeah.
And then
Justin came in, interviewed me. He's
okay.
Like, we got a place open for you. And he's like, I already was talking to your therapist that was here. He said that you could be released tomorrow. Come get you. Take you to your parents' house. I don't know if they do that anymore, but I went and picked up a bunch of stuff from my mom's house.
Yeah, we do. We knock down barriers. So.
Yeah. I went and got a bunch of my stuff. I don't know what the name of the house is anymore, but it was the COVID house for a long time. One that faces the train tracks. I lived there. And it's funny, Kurt picked me up from the hospital. The first thing I said is, can we go to McDonald's, please? I'm like dead serious. I was like, I will buy you lunch. He's like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't know if it's allowed, but why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got adjusted. My grandma, would come pick me up, and I'd go get some more stuff from my mom's house I couldn't grab like immediately. Yeah, and just worked through the program here. I'd come in, talk. It got to the point where I was the only person in the house, and Justin actually thought I left, and I was staying there for I was constantly working, and I'd go in once a week, but it'd be super early in the morning, around like 9, and you wouldn't be there yet. So he's like, I totally forgot you lived there. So I was just there for like 3 months by myself, and everyone thought the house was empty. So, and then one night, Michelle and Justin came in to walk through, and it was like, Justin's like, oh, I'm coming over. And then it was her too, because he forgot I lived there. And, me being by myself, the house was spotless. Like, looked like nobody lived there. Then a bunch of different people started coming in, and started making a lot of good friends and working on myself, and working on those things that led me to do what I was going to do. And luckily for me, Justin and Mike are both very approachable people.
Mm-hmm.
So then I got a call from one of my buddies down in Juneau, and they're like, "You want to go fishing?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I went commercial fishing for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Came back and texted Mike. I was like, "I don't know where to stay or what to do. I'm in town." He's like, "I don't work there anymore. Here's Bryan's phone number."
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's when I met you.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, what a mistake that was for you.
Yeah, right.
And then, yeah, I, moved in, and, I don't know if, I think you remember, I was working nights. I was doing snow removal because it was wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, one thing that's really cool is like you've always had that job aspect.
Well,
for sure.
I go crazy if I don't have a job. Like free time, I hate having free time.
Yeah.
I've told my friends that you need to relax. Like
yeah.
Go home and sit on the couch and like watch TV or something. I physically have to be doing something. I will go home like a couple days ago. My boss is like, "Hey, it's the 3rd of July. If you want to get off and go home and just relax for a little bit, you can." Granted, 4th of July weekend was very warm this year. I went home and went on the lake and fished for 5 hours for pike.
Nice.
So sadly, I didn't get anything, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the work, I've always had to, that's how my dad was when we were little, is he was always working. So I grew up with thinking that to get where I want to be, that's what I have to do.
No.
Even if it's like go fishing for 3 years and totally not.
And then come back and be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that you wanted to go fishing again, and I said, Keaton,
don't do it.
Where did that get us last time?
Yeah. Right. And then I think after a whole bunch of stuff happened here and a bunch of stuff changed, after Mike left, a bunch of stuff in the whole program changed. And that's when I really started, getting stuff together, like driver's license and all that stuff. And
you got your driver's license.
Yeah.
And then what do we do after that? You finished your diploma.
Yeah. And then NIT.
Yeah, so all this time while you're working, you're holding a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My dad thought I was crazy. He's like, "You're going to school for like 45, 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
And you're working on your days off."
Yeah, man. I really want to list this out, Keaton, because you give me a lot of credit for this stuff. But like, from the moment you got here, you had a job.
Yeah.
You needed a little bit of motivating.
Yeah.
Because
I'll say I did.
Yeah.
I was pretty lazy.
Yeah. But you went out, you got your license, right?
Yeah.
You completed high school. That was like, I think me and Roger both were on you almost every other day.
Insane.
About
I don't want to walk. You're walking. Everybody in the office is going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, that was amazing, man. I was so happy to be a part of that. And then because of that work that you put in, you finished high school, you got your license, you're able to use, funding to go to NIT.
Yeah. It's funny because last night I actually hung out with some friends that I met there.
Yeah.
And I went in there a couple weeks ago and talked to our instructor, and I was letting him know, I was like, "Hey, I got something set up down in Utah that they're gonna, teach me how to do dual shield and TIG and all that kind of stuff." And he's like, "Yeah, that's not something we really focus on until you get into the more advanced class, but the fact that they're paying for it and everything is sick."
Yeah.
And same amount of hours required down there, 320 to get your certification. So, yeah, I busted through that.
Yeah, but so like, again, you give me a lot of credit. You give my house an organization a lot of credit, but I want you to hear that you did, right? Like you held a job, you went and got your license, continued to hold a job. You got a car, right? You got your own car.
You gave me crap about it because it's a piece of crap. But.
I did because you kept leaking oil all over the driveway.
Okay. Fair point. I did find
there's
out that
still oil stains in that driveway.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then to top all that off, you went to NIT, completed that program. Well, again, still holding a job when the schooling program in NIT is set up for those that don't know, is set up like a
Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah, so like a work week, so a 4-10 work week. Yeah. You're in there 10 hours a day, welding, doing classroom work, all that kind of stuff. And then
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, working,
yeah. Like you did that. Yeah. I didn't do that, right? Like I can't do that for you. You know what I mean? And so like I appreciate that you like value like what we were able to do for you and stuff, but just remember, Keaton, like you put that work in. Like you don't have anybody to thank but yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the reason I give you guys so much credit is because before, when I needed motivation, it kind of, drilled it into me.
Yeah.
To do better.
Yeah. So. And the motivation, what's interesting for me is like the motivation wasn't anything other than telling you that like I know that you can do this, Keaton.
Like I expect more from you.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever said I expect more from you.
You did.
But I just let you know that like I know that you can do this. Like I believe in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think just like learning that to believe in yourself, because I think that's what it was, is like you didn't know that you could do all this stuff.
And then like once the gears started turning, people nowadays say the math was mathing.
Yeah. The math was mathing. Yeah.
Yeah. I, did that. And not only did I go through an IT, but there was a couple people that didn't leave with certifications.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I was able to leave with that was extra cool.
Yeah. That's super awesome.
And that made my, I mean, I'm sure I've told you, my uncle used to weld up on the slope back in the day, and being able to show him, my passing tests and stuff like that, and the progress, and get little tips and tricks from him that worked for him back in the day.
Yeah.
When he'd be like, you need to slow down, or you're running it too hot. Is that porosity? I see you need to do better.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
That definitely made him proud too. And a couple of my dad's friends are weld inspectors up on the slope, so they know what to really look for. And I'd ask them, and because they literally get trained to spot mistakes.
Yeah.
So
that's a job to have, man.
Oh yeah, just walk around and be like, "Yeah, your welds suck. Do better."
I don't know about that, but there's a little extensive more process to that. So you completed NIT. What happened after NIT?
You're like, okay, you're starting to look like you should start looking at moving out and into the world. So I got that housing fund, and I found a cool little apartment, and got the grant from Kira and really used that to my advantage, like I should have.
Yeah.
And I started to realize I need, working 4 days a week at Walmart wasn't really it. So I did what any normal person would. I applied for jobs with my certifications, and of course, everybody's doing dual shield and stuff now. Stick is kind of going.
Stick is more of like out. Like if you're applying in like shops and stuff, stick is more like outside work or repair work, stuff like that. Yeah.
So I you know, I tried and talked to a few people all over the state. They're like, we really need people with experience and dual shield certifications and stuff like that. So I did something else that, you know, I've always done for a while. I applied at a job at one of the dealerships to be a technician or a technician apprentice, and which is perfect because my buddy worked at a dealer as an apprentice, and he was going up to the slope to, you know, do something up there. So I was like, well, I don't have to pay rent every month for a year, so I can make this work. So I applied there. I got the job literally like without even having to try. They just saw that NIT, you know, that's a big thing, having that kind of accomplishment.
Yeah. The diploma, the license.
Yeah, fishing.
Yeah.
That's another big thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I worked there, and, you know, living the rent-free stuff, it was pretty easy. And sick, too, because I lived right down the street.
Yeah.
So like a 3-minute drive.
Nice.
So I could sleep in an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah. And now you're getting ready to move to
Utah.
And you're taking a job to do what?
I'm going to be a weld helper for 6 months, and then they're going to get me through school.
Yeah, man.
My other welding certifications.
Yeah. So let's just recap this, man. You went from the hospital to homeless again.
Yeah.
Right? To like getting on your feet and then coming back homeless to having a job, having a career, going to school, having got your own place, having got a car. You've done a lot in the last...
Gotten 2 cars.
You've gotten 2 cars. My mistake.
I blew up my Toyota.
You've got 2 cars. And, you know, out of all that, Keaton, like, I just want to say I'm extremely proud of you, man. You have done such an awesome job, and I'm so excited to see where you go from here. And it's really like, and I really appreciate you being here, because this is a testament of what you can do if you utilize the resources around you and you put the work in.
I think I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, and you've said it a few times. You know, people become really successful going through this stuff using their resources and having support. If you have a proper like support system, like friends and family and staff members like you guys, and you utilize that, God, I feel like Morgan Freeman right now. You can do anything. Like look at me.
Yeah.
You know, I put in the work. Yeah.
And you just had to believe that you could do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And so we gotta wrap it up here, but what would you say to somebody like that wants to come in and like wants to, but maybe back in that state that you were in before you came in?
Oh,
what would you want them
without
to
a
hear?
doubt, do it. Utilize your resources while you're here too. Like, you know, NIT is not cheap. And the fact that was able to happen is amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're doing it with, you know, other people here is awesome. And, you know, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do
As
it.
Nike says, just do it. I don't know if we have to cut that, but all right.
Shia LaBeouf.
Just do it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you again for being here, Keaton. You better stay in touch, man.
Oh, for sure. Respond to your text messages.
Yeah. Just put me on Front Street. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of My Voice. For local services here at my house, please call 373-4357. That's 373-HELP.